Hey, USG, welcome in. It is early morning, and we are in the kitchen. So I am home alone and I'm moving around, so I apologize. We are going to be making some cinnamon rolls. And off the bat, I am going to go ahead and give the disclaimer. I'm not gonna tag or state that this recipe belongs to anybody. I am pulling from the internet, so the recipe is not mine, but I am combining a few recipes for this one. I think it's about maybe 2 to 3 recipes that I'm pulling from and combined to make this recipe come together. So I'm not going to be tagging them, but what I have in front of you is a few of the ingredients, and I'm a little bit over here on the stove browning some butter. And I have made this recipe once before, and it was in December, and we currently are in March, and my family has been begging me to actually make this again. And I haven't made it because for me is a bit tedious. Not because it's homemade, but just because one of the recipes does recommend for you to hand knead this, and I'm not about that life. Now with fibromyalgia and psoriatic arthritis is not happening. So when I first made this, I tried to hand knead it. It was not happening. This dough does stay a little shaggy. So I put it in my KitchenAid, and the KitchenAid that I have, I don't know if it's just because it's older, but it just does not handle dough that well. I've begged my husband to kind of, I don't know, either upgrade me or get me something else, and it's not working, y'all. It's not working. So, it is what it is. I'm just sticking to my guns with what I have. So, my butter is pretty much almost browned to the consistency where I want it. I can bring you guys over to show you this right here. I've been having it browned for a while. I'm going to show you my whole kitchen. Not that you guys haven't seen this before, but this is where I have it. I've had it here for in between back and forth, medium and low heat while I've been getting the ingredients together. But as you can see, I did a clear bottom pan so I can see the process, but it's getting those crispy bottoms, which is what you want. I forgot what exactly that is called, but there's people on the internet that pretty much know exactly what it's called, but that's pretty much what I'm looking for. It's something about the separation, between the cream or something that makes butter. Listen, I can bake, but the terminology, I'm not the person. So you just want to make sure that you don't burn it. You just want the brownness. So I'm starting to smell it, and I just took it off because the pan will still, maintain heat and will continue the process. So this is how it ended up. Hopefully you guys can see that. This is what it ended up being. Can you hear that? This is what it ended up being. It's beautiful and it smells amazing in here. So I did this process first because the actual dough requires 4 tablespoons of brown butter. So, and it has to be cooled, obviously. So I started that process first because I'm going to speak to you guys about the ingredients, and I wanted to get that done first. Later on, I think I'm going to have to brown some more for the actual filling. So since I'm pulling from, I think, three recipes, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know what is happening. So my ingredients are a little bit all over my kitchen, as you guys can see. And I'll try to bring you guys through as I do what I do if I can. but the kitchen gets a little chaotic, and in between I'm probably going to start dinner, because lately I'm liking to start, cooking dinner early. So what we are going to be doing is flour. I have all-purpose flour. I think that's what I used last time. I go between using the gold metal brand and King Arthur. I like to use my King Arthur for like really good stuff. I mean, not that the same, but I think I used my regular gold medal, regular beach bleach flour, and it did fine. So I'm going to use that one here as well, and it is 3 cups of. I think it's 3 cups. Yes, it's 3 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, and then this is for the dough. We are going to be using 1/3 cup of sugar. We need 1 egg whisked, 1 egg yolk whisk, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm going to be using regular Redmond's salt. And that has all our minerals and all that good stuff. I have switched this household just to that salt in general. And then 4 tablespoons, it says, of regular unsalted melted butter. My butter is salted, so I'll just have a little extra salt. But here we are. And then you're going to need your yeast mixture. Your yeast mixture is 3/4 cup of lukewarm water, anywhere between 100 to 110 Fahrenheit. So you make sure you don't kill your yeast. 2.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast, which I have there. I keep mine in the fridge. I have like 4 jars of that are in my freezer, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. I have just regular old white sugar. I have a bunch of other sugars as well in the household. And you combine all of that together. What this particular recipe is telling you to do is combine all of that in a bowl, which I have 2 bowls here because I'm planning to make this twice. Because according to all 3 recipes that I'm combining together, depending on how big you cut them, they make about 8 to 12, 8 big rolls if you cut 8, which I think that's what I did last time, or I did 10, depending on the your pan size. I plan to put mines in the KitchenAid, which I think I already said, but it recommends to hand knead. If you're a person that can do that, like I already stated, then you go ahead and do you. I plan to put mines in the KitchenAid and then put them in the bowls to rest. You put it to rest for 1 to 2 hours. I plan to hopefully put it to rest for the full 2 hours, and then from there lay it out and put the toppings. The topping is, or the filling is, 1/3 cup of unsalted uh, butter. Mine is going to be brown butter, mixed with 1 cup of light brown sugar packed, which I have, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. This particular recipe is calling for 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves and 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. I don't think I did that last time. I just went with the brown sugar. This other recipe is saying 1 cup of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, which is what I did. So you see how I'm mashing 2 recipes together. You can do either or. The recipe that I personally did was the 1/3 cup of brown butter, which was slightly cooled. It's okay if it's warm because you're going to need it to melt down the 1 cup of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. This is the one that I did, and let me tell you, they were delicious. They were ooey gooey, and for me, my family compared them to the Cinnabons. No correlation, nothing. Um, and then from there, once they rose for half an hour, we poured a 1/2 cup, which is about 120 grams if you're using kitchen scale of heavy cream over them, and then you stick them in the oven at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes, and then you're ready to go. Cream cheese frosting was 4 ounces of softened cream cheese, 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We are using a vanilla bean paste from Madagascar. I love that because it has um, the little vanilla seeds. Ah, beautiful. And 3/4 cups of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of cream or milk until you reach your desired texture. And then you just pour it on top. If you want to eat them nice and warm right out the oven, go for it. That's what we did. Once they got cool or room temperature, we would just pop them right back in the oven. I mean, in the oven, in the microwave. You know what I mean. And then we will go from there. Honestly, the second one that I read to you guys is the one that I pretty much followed. Um, and they're delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling because it's already 8 in the morning and I would like to hopefully get both of them going. So I'm going to try to get the mixture into both bowls if it's possible. Unfortunately, I only have one KitchenAid, so one is going to have to wait for the other. So the gluten could build in the stand mixture. I wish I had two. If he would have listened to me and gotten me another one, but I digress. So let's get this party started. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna turn you guys around and see if y'all can watch some of the chaos that happens in this kitchen. As always, move some of these things around, and we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna bring you guys in for just one because the second one will just be what it be. So BRB, and we'll get started. All right, so since NYC water wants to run boiling, we're going to start off with our yeast mixture. It's 3/4. It's just a little over, no big deal. We're using our little thermometer here. It's actually at 110. At 110, literally 109 and change, if you can see that. So we'll leave it at that. Like, look at this thing. Can you see that? Can you see the steam coming out of that? You almost could get burned by it. All right, and we're gonna need two teaspoons and a half of our active yeast. Part of me would actually want to do milk. I wonder if I swapped this for milk last time. Because sometimes I do that. And I wonder if it would be like a richer, because sometimes, when you're doing box cake, you swap the water for milk, you swap the oil for butter. And I'm wondering now if I should swap the water for milk. Well, never mind. That was killed really quickly. All I had to do was ask good AI over there, and she said not to. So we not gonna do it. Where is my tablespoon? Oh, right in front of me. All right, a tablespoon of sugar, and then we are going to whisk all of this in to activate this yeast, and we're gonna set this aside. So this yeast could bloom on us while we get everything else ready. Nice combination. All right, guys. All right, soldiers, wake up. I love having my sink right here. I have a big like kitchen counter situation going on here. And it's amazing because not that you like to dirty too much dishes, right? I would love an island in my kitchen, but the way it's been set up, it's big enough to do what I need to do. But like a big island would be beautiful. And I know, people that might end up seeing like my whole kitchen would be like, oh, but you're so picky. Like you're asking for too much. And mind you, we've been in this house for years and like it's starting to break down. I don't know if you can see like right here, like the actual countertop here, like, unfortunately took a big hit. But it is what it is. All right, so let's bring the bowl over and let's start getting this dough together. So for the rest of the ingredients, we will need 3 cups of flour. And one of them gives you the grams, but I think I chopped the head off of that recipe, so we're just gonna go ahead and go without it. Let me take out these bay leaves because I heard somewhere that bay leaves keeps the little buggies away. And so we're just gonna go ahead. That's the way I level my flour, guys. If that trips you out, that trips you out. I apologize. I don't do like that finger situation. So, and I don't have, I do have a leveler. I think it came with the spoons, but I really don't bother with it. All right, so that's 3 cups. Let's see what else goes in here. 1 teaspoon of salt. And like I said, we are using Redmond's real salt. And the same way I measure my flour is the same way I do the salt. And it does say 1 teaspoon. Yeah, 1 teaspoon. I'm making sure. All right, let's put them over here because once I use it, we're going to put it to the side because we're going to be using it again for the second round. I have 6 people in this family. 1 is a child, and yeah. All right, we're going to bring back the white sugar because it is requiring 1/3 cup of white sugar. Let's see, I have a cup in here. Let's see what this is. This is 1/4. Here we go. 1/3 cup. That's probably why the kid loves these. 1/3 cup of white sugar. All right, and then it needs 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. So I'm going to just very quickly mix this together because now we are going to incorporate the wet ingredients. So let's just get all of this. And this is blooming beautifully. I don't know if you guys can see that. So that yeast is nice and active. So just, making sure the salt and the sugar and everything marinates all in there. Oh no, nobody's left behind. And I always have to make just a slight mess because that's how we are. That's how we do. This comes together really quickly, and that's what I love for me. So we're going to get another small bowl because it's just for the eggs. And all my bowls are just slightly stained due to the dishwasher. So, this kitchen is well loved. And if you're not about that life, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. It is a working kitchen, guys. So if you see stains, if you see some dirt, if you see something, I been loving on and cooking in this kitchen for 16 whole years, coming up in April. So yeah. All right, so it needs 1 complete egg. And again, like I said, I love me my sink right there. And 1 egg yolk. I should keep this egg white. Because not that my son is on a high protein. I don't think the egg white would do anything for him. Oh, well, not the shell. Just the egg white. Let me see if I don't mess this up. Oh, I think I messed it up. Oh, yep. Oh, did I mess it up? Yep. Okay. I got some shells in there, guys. Okay. That was 1. And got it. Got some shells over here, too. That tells you I don't know how to separate eggs. I need a gadget for that. All right, this needs to be whisked. It's just that I'm going to be doing 2 of these, and I mean, that came out pretty decent, didn't it? Oh, God. I know some people are going to cringe. Y'all be okay. You know, we eat our eggs here complete. We usually don't separate, so. All right, so I'm lightly whisking that. And then what else? The 4 teaspoons, I apologize, of the brown butter that is cooled and the yeast mixture. So, oh my God, it continues. Look how big that's gotten. All right, so I'm going to come get the brown butter. That's over here. This is beautiful. It has cooled down and it has caramelized completely. Oh my God. So here I will say I put a little over 4 tablespoons or a little more. I am going to measure out with this because I know that it was going to cook down. So I'll measure it, but I know very well that, or I'll probably just put the whole thing, to be honest. I feel that, you know, how can it hinder it? To be honest, since this is going to be the wet ingredients, I'm probably going to put it into the dough, into the KitchenAid mixer. Because we're about to put the butter and everything in, and I don't want to dirty another bowl. So this is what we're going to do. This is the KitchenAid bowl. Because this is going to be easier to clean because it's just the dry ingredients. All right. So now we have the eggs. Make sure we get every nook and cranny of this. You guys know how I am, right? Nobody left behind. We're going to use that spatula that we got over there in the butter. And we're going to set this aside because we got to do 2 more eggs for the next batch. Oh my God, that thing is still growing. I'm not going to, I was going to measure it, but I'm not. I'm just going to pour the whole thing in here. I feel like the more brown butter flavor, the better. I will honestly say this is like about 8 tablespoons. Yep. But like I said, when you cook down the butter, it kind of gets rid of all that, like, I think the extra additives that they put in there. So it probably might be a little over, but I don't care. I really don't. And then I keep showing you guys this yeast mixture. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. All of that's going to go in there. Reuse, reduce, recycle. This one's going to go to the side because, again, we're going to do this again. And what I'm going to do is, with the spatula, I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of like incorporate it just a little bit. Not that I need to do this because we know the machine is going to be able to do it for itself. But just what the heck. Because it does say on the recipe, you know, combine. So I'm going to go ahead and combine. And like I said, for you guys that like to do this by hand, the recipes, both recipes or 3 recipes do say that this is a dough that you hand mix. I'm not doing that. Told you, my hands can't do it. Now it does say to not reserve, but do have some flour on the side. Because one, if you're hand mixing, it is a sticky dough. And you will need extra, as you can see. You will need extra flour, 1 for your surface. Okay. 1 for your surface and 2 for your hands. So be ready for that. Me, I'm just going to choose to leave it like that. There's still flour pockets down there. I'm going to let my mixer do the work. I don't remember exactly what speed I put it on. I'm going to start at low. I have the dough hook on. I have to wash this because I got to brown some more butter for the next batch. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it in. I actually like to lock it in the other way. I have a mess over here, guys. Bring it down. We are locking it in. I have a mess over here because this is where I've been putting everything. What do they say? Out of sight, out of mind, right? My egg whites for my other egg. Stuff that I'm not using. Stuff that I thought I needed that I'm not going to use. Stuff to brown more butter in. Turn that off. The eggs that I am going to use. All right, so is it plugged in? Yeah, so let's lock it. And I'll bring you guys over. You can see the whole shebang. All right, so I have it here locked, and right now I have it at 3, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's gonna live here for right now for a while. I'm sure you guys can hear it. I don't know if y'all can hear it more than me. I'm just gonna let it rock and roll. Right now it's picking up all the flour that is in the bottom to incorporate everything together. It'll eventually form the dough ball. and then I'll pick up everything that's on the walls. I'll help it with the little spatula. I'll stop it in between, but that's pretty much what it's looking like. It smells really, really good. The process will probably take maybe 10 to 15, if anything. But it'll be fairly quick. It'll be fairly quick. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do for the other one. It took me longer to put it together because obviously I'm talking to you guys and bringing you guys along with everything that I'm doing. But I'm gonna do the other one. It takes, the longest process here is browning the butter. Once you get that butter browned and it cools down, this is pretty quick. The next long process is just developing the gluten. And I think it takes longer doing it by hand. This process takes pretty quickly. As you can see, it already has the dough ball in the middle. Now it's just making sure it whips it side to side. So let me do what I have to do for the second batch while this continues. I'll probably start speeding it up in a few. But remember, the dough ball is supposed to be sticky, so don't try to beat it to death trying to get it, unsticky. But if anything, you can always throw in a little extra flour in there. All right, so this is the way the dough is looking. I have it in a metal, which is probably not the best, but it is what it is. This is the first one we did together. It's been an hour, so it's okay. It's not the best. She said sticky, pliable. It was interesting to get it out, but it is what it is. The second one is here. We have little caps on it, little shower caps. This one's about 45 minutes in. It is holding heat. This one's holding a little bit more, better heat. This is plastic. I should have put it in my ceramic bowls, but it is what it is. I already browned the butter. So like I said, I already browned the butter for both of them while I was cooking because I already have food going. I got Puerto Rican rice, salchichas with salchicha rice. This, look at it, caramelized. Oh my God, it is so good. So I'm gonna scrape all that off here. This is nice and cool to the point that it's cold. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the mixture. This one's a little warmer because I just recently did that maybe like 20 minutes ago. This one got a little more brown than this one did, but they smell heavenly. So this is 6 teaspoons or tablespoons of butter. And to this, we're going to add 1/3 cup of light brown packed sugar. And I like to pack it, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and add it to both of them. I mean, hello. We're like, here, so I might as well just do it to both. Like, what are we doing? And then I'll just mix it off of camera. So I read the ingredient wrong because I'm just moving. It's 1/3 cup of brown sugar. That's what happens when you're doing too much in the kitchen. 1/3 cup of browned butter and a cup of brown sugar. So since I already added 1/3, I went and asked good old, I'm going to say Amazon so I don't trigger her, how many 1/3s are in a cup. So there's 3 of them. So I'm going to add 2 more to each container. So I can get my cup of light packed brown sugar. Ay, ay, ay. This is what happens when you do too much. All right, so that's my cup in that one. Let me do the same to the other one. I love fresh brown sugar because it's so nice and fluffy. All right, there we go. That looks more accurate. Oh, thank God I looked at that over. And then 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. I always say you can never have enough cinnamon, so you do you, but cinnamon is potent, so each one to their own. I'm actually cracking this new cinnamon open. I could have sworn I had one open. I'm looking in my cupboard, but I don't know where it be. There it goes. Did I actually open this? Oh man, I already opened it. Um, you know what? It's just a little opening, so I'm gonna leave it. I can't get it closed, guys. I'm a weakling. This fibromyalgia and this psoriatic arthritis got me somewhere. All right, so I did find it. I knew I had one open. I was like, it's either not here or I took it downstairs for the garden. No, like one or the other. Is it tablespoon or teaspoon? Tablespoon. Okay. I'm double checking myself, guys, because I got too much going on right now. Now again, each one to their own. You can choose to add more or not, but it looks pretty hefty to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it alone and just go with the 2 tablespoons. I'm doing this ahead because I want to have this part done already. So when I'm ready to roll out the dough, I'm also going to do that off of camera. I have the little spatula here. So I'm going to incorporate everything with the butter. As you saw, my butter was starting to harden a little bit, and that's a problem. Should be the consistency of a paste. So let me go ahead and mix this together and I'll bring you guys back in. All right, they're both mixed up. This is what they look like. Kind of reminds me, as I was mixing them, like a crumble, like something you would put on top of like a coffee cake or something. But it's looser in consistency, so they are ready to go. The dough has probably maybe like 45 minutes on one and maybe like an hour on the other. So we'll see. My kitchen is cold. Yesterday we had a beautiful day here and now it's about 35 degrees. This morning they were saying, oh, winter came back, bring out your coats. So we'll see. But I am cooking currently. I'm going to actually bring the 2 bowls over here next to the stove and see if that helps out a little bit. My choice in where I put the doughs, like the bowls, probably not the best. Should have put them in my ceramic bowls, but it is what it is. We're already in the thick of it, so we'll see how it goes. So I'll bring you guys back when maybe I have it rolled out. I really don't actually roll it like out like with a pin or anything, like a rolling pin. We don't get that technical. I actually just do it with my hands, press it out. I kind of treat it like a sourdough, like a shaggy dough, and just kind of just like, push it out, try to shape it into like semi-rectangle, and then spread this out, kind of more finger food, kind of thing, like playing with Play-Doh. And then go from there and kind of cut it with a serrated knife if I can, or if not, oh my God, I forgot what this thing is called. Oh my God, I am blanking out. One of these things that you use for sourdough. Cut it with one of these and then kind of go from there. Place it in the pan. Wait for the second rise, which is about half an hour. And then pretty much bathe it with heavy cream. And then we go from there. But I'll bring you guys back and see how all of that goes. It's a long process. If you want to do this for breakfast, you would have to get up really, really early. Like I said, I've been working on these since 8 o'clock this morning, and it is about now 10:20. So This is definitely not breakfast. It's going to be one of those kind of things of dessert for the family for nighttime. And we definitely will have enough that they can have them for breakfast tomorrow if they want to take it to work with them, because it is going to be midweek. Tomorrow is hump day tomorrow, and today is St. Patty's Day. When will you guys see this? The Lord knows. But today is St. Patrick's Day. So I'll bring you guys back when we are ready to go. All right, so this is what it's pretty much looking like. This is the first dough. So it really didn't rise much, maybe a little bit. That's probably because it's highly greasy. So I'm gonna turn it on here. I'm not gonna really put anything on it. It has Pam, the butter flavor, and I'm pretty much handheld because my little stand thing died. So I won't be pretty much recording much of it. Just like little clips as I go doing little tidbits of it. So I'm gonna turn it here, and like I said, I'm going to pretty much maneuver it with my hands and then add the filling, the cinnamon sugar filling to it. All right, so that's what we got. We moved some things around because it wasn't working out. Yeah, you saw my fingers. Look at this. And I did take out the rolling pin. Got me a whole mess because, you know, we cooking and all that good stuff. Got some bald spots here we got to fill in still. But this is a labor and love. My hands are washed. My kitchen. So you do you in your kitchen. Mind business. Mean that in all health and all love. So I'm trying to get it to as much edges as I can, but I'm going to leave. Well, I should have left those edges because I'm rolling away from me, not towards me, but I digress. Anywho's, so I did have to take out the rolling pin and I put whatever these are to the lowest. And yeah, so we about to roll away. I'm going to be using this serrated, I think it's a bread knife, whatever, to cut how many rolls I can. I have this glass one, and the other one that I'm going to be using is the cast iron. So we're going to do this one, and then we're going to do the other one, and they're going to go for the second rise for half an hour. Then we're going to put the heavy cream, and my oven is already preheated to 350, and then we shall feast. All right, fam. I got 17. Look how good those things look. I'm going to put the cover back on them, the plastic one, hopefully it fits. And they're going to go for the second rise. I'm going to do the same thing to the second dough. Don't tell me those things don't look good. Wait till they cook up. All right. That's what they're looking like. We're about to put half a cup of that heavy whipping cream. We have it out here measured up in this mason jar. And literally I just pour it and just let it go. Looking good in their heavy cream bath. Into the oven, 350, 30 minutes. See you on the side of making the topping. And then when we're ready to consume. All right, guys, so I'm about to make the icing that goes on the top. We have all the ingredients here. I'm going to make the double batch, just going to do it all together. Probably going to have to stick it in the microwave just for a couple of seconds, maybe 30 seconds, because I forgot that I needed to leave the butter out. Silly me. But if you're only making one and it's for one batch, I'm sorry, I'm looking to the side. And sorry if the audio sounds a little off. My mic died. Doing a lot in the kitchen today. So for one batch is going to be 3/4 cup of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 3 teaspoons of butter, 4 ounces of cream cheese. I use the whipped cream cheese here because it's easier and it's spreadable. I'll probably end up just using this whole thing here. This is a 12-ounce tub, but my son already used not most of it, just a little bit of it for his protein bagels that I make here. So I'll just probably use that whole tub on top and just put the other one away. I had it in the freezer and I thawed it out already. And the last thing would be a teaspoon of milk and or cream. I probably will end up using heavy cream, which I'm just trying to go through it because there's not much in there. Other than that, this is what they are looking like currently. They have puffed down a little bit because they are in the process of cooling, but they are still warm. They feel very, very good. They smell delicious. Dinner is done. So this will be dessert. So let me get this going and I'll show you the product once it's done because I kind of actually want to ice them warm. So let me get this going. All right, guys. So here is the finished product. As you can see, there's one missing. Finished it. They are delicious. You guys should try this recipe. Hopefully I have done it justice. And that's my cat. She's waiting to be fed. And I have given you the correct measurements and all that stuff. If I remember, I'll try to write the recipe in the description below. Usually I don't do that, but I need to get into a better habit of doing it. But these things are delicious. Very, very good. Outstanding. The brown butter takes it to a different level. But you guys know what to do. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you guys on the next video. Bye.